Hey YouTube, it's your girl Yona Marie, and today I want to talk about how to release music as an independent artist. Yona Marie music, create with me. So releasing music as an independent artist without a label can seem like it's simple to do nowadays, but a lot of artists and musicians and bands are missing out on some of the key steps they need in order to release music successfully. So I want to go through a quick little checklist with you just to make sure you have all your ducks in a row and that you're ready to get as much exposure as possible when you're releasing your new music. So the first part of the process should be one of the most simple parts in theory, is just creating your music. Number one, you want to have a songwriter, or you want to have your songwriting skills yourself. You want to make sure you're not stealing song phrases, and make sure you're not taking any lyrics from popular songs to make sure there will be no copyright infringement involved in your song release. Now, a quick tip for people that are looking for song lyric material, you can actually go to the public domain. You might be interested in some popular songs that are actually available without copyright issues. They're over 100 years old, so it will be classic songs that you can redo, you can remake, you can cover, and have no problems with putting it out on Spotify, iTunes, and all of that. So check the link in my description for more details on how to put out songs that are in the public domain and make them your own. After your songwriting is done, you want to make sure that you have good production. You want to make sure if you're in a band, you have everybody that's talented, ready to go, ready to record at the best that they can. You want to make sure if you're a rapper or if you're a singer that usually performs to a beat, an instrumental, that you have the right type of beat. You don't have a tag beat. You don't have something that will again get you in problem with copyright. You have an original song, or you found a producer that has given you the proper rights to be able to distribute your songs. A lot of people get tied up in getting free songs, getting beats for like $1, but they didn't read the fine print when it says that you need to be able to get a separate license that will allow you to actually resell this material on Spotify, on iTunes, Amazon Music, etc. So make sure when you're looking for your beats, when you're getting your instrumentation together, you know who has the rights to what. You don't want to be caught slipping when it comes to putting out music and not having the rights together, because you can take a big L when it comes to that legal side of everything. So usually most singers, bands, rappers have those two parts down. They don't need no help with that. But here comes the parts that you want to make sure you're listening to in case you're missing a step. The next thing you want to do is copyright your music. File a new claim. Make sure your work is protected. Don't think you can get by with the poor man copyright method. Don't take risks. It's better to be safe than sorry. You can actually copyright multiple works under that same fee if you're trying to save money. So get your work copyrighted, okay? It's a lot of theft happening out here in this music industry. You don't want to set yourself up to be losing out when it comes to your rights. Now, this next step is crucial in the process, but not enough people put enough money into it. Not enough people put enough research into the process. Make sure you're able to record in the highest quality studio as you can. It could be a home studio setup. Some home studios sound amazing. Like, some of these can rival what these major labels have for studios. Like, it's nothing wrong with recording in a home studio as long as it sounds good, as long as the room is sonically treated, as long as you have high quality material you're recording with. It's possible. Don't sell yourself short. Don't skimp out on the budget when it comes to recording, because it's the most important part when it comes to putting out music. I mean, obviously. And the next step is to get your work mixed and mastered properly by a very professional audio engineer. A lot of people skip out on this step. Like, a lot of people think you can just go to the studio, get some real cheap $5 mix and master done, and you'll be ready to go. Your song will be radio ready, Spotify ready. You want to set aside at least like $100 for the mixing and mastering process, at the very least. You want to get somebody that's actually putting in time, putting in hours to make sure your track, your instrumentation, your vocal layering, every little detail is correct, because there are plenty of people who are benefiting from audio engineers' work, but there are not a lot of people that know about the technicalities and all the time and talent that goes to audio production. So make sure you're not missing out on that, because that can make or break the quality of your song and make or break your chances to get a new fan to really like your work. The next thing you want to do is start creating and finalizing your visual content. You don't want to miss out on any visual elements. If you have the budget for it, if you have the team for it, you want to do a music video, you want to do a canvas for Spotify, you want to do an album cover, a song cover, you want to do a photo shoot right before that release. You want to do as much as you can visually, Because yes, you're a music artist, but visual elements add so much to your music artistry that you cannot supplement and you cannot afford to miss out on as an independent artist. So after you have a very high quality master, after everything sounds great, you need to make sure you're going with the proper distribution channel. You want to go with somebody affordable and trusted like DistroKid. I'll leave the links to them in my description as well. That's who I use for my music distribution in order to get my songs onto Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, TikTok, YouTube, so many places. Now here's another part that some people forget, and that is royalty collection. You want to make sure, especially if you've written these songs or if you produce these songs, that you're getting the correct royalties. I know royalties can be a very complicated process, but using a service like Songtrust, which I'll leave a link in my description to, can help you get all of that managed in one place. If you're getting plays, if you have an audience already, if you're getting sales, if you already have built your fan base, you don't want to miss out on the royalty collection portion, because that money can add up. I know, like, for beginners with no audience, you might feel like you can miss that stage for now because, you know, collecting 2 pennies over a year might not be worth it. But if you have a big audience, or even if you don't, just start looking into the process now to see how you will cover it when you do eventually get to that point where your audience is large enough for you to collect royalties. Another thing on the checklist you want to consider is getting management. You want to consider somebody to get you shows, get you connections, maybe somebody like a booking agent can get you local gigs secure without you having to go and put in the hours for that. Make sure you're not finding anybody that's scamming you on the management side, sending you empty promises, filling your head with lies, trying to collect money on the front end because they know it's not going to be nothing on the back end because they can't get you anything. I'll leave another link for this in my description as well that links to some management companies that might be interested in you. And the last thing, the most complex thing, which I won't get into much detail for this video, but a future video, is your marketing. So you don't want to put in all this time, all this creativity, all this money, and then put your song out, release it, and then let it sit there and just pray for the best. Because that method will get you 0 every time, guaranteed. You want to put in some money, you want to put in some time, you want to hire somebody that knows what they're doing, you want to put in some money for advertising through Facebook, YouTube, Google if you have it, to get your music in front of new ears. Because without marketing, music ain't gonna get nowhere. Like, are you making music for yourself? Because that's okay, but I don't know why you're watching this video, because ain't much I can do to help you with that. But if you're putting out music that you want thousands, millions of people to be able to hear one day, follow these tips. Don't miss out on anything. Yes, becoming a successful independent artist is extremely hard to do, but it's worth it for at least the journey alone. Don't get too invested to the point where you're putting in so much pressure on yourself that you're not just enjoying the process of being creative and doing what you love. Because at the end of the day, it's about the art of it all. Yes, you want to get exposure. Yes, you want to get big one day, but you're going to win regardless because you're doing what you love. Hopefully other people will love what you're doing too, and there's really no way you can go wrong. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll be back to share more tips with you next week. For daily updates, visit YonaMarieMusic.com and sign up for my newsletter to get in the loop and stay there.